So the next one is this new trend of apps that are out there for dating for teens. So I call it basically Tinder for teens. And it's really like identical to how it works. So swiping left, swiping right. And so you've got kids out there that are having to be on this platform 13 and up. And so they're putting out these images of themselves that are sexualized, trying to get attention, trying to get somebody to swipe right so that they're actually like accepted, which again, as a parent myself, these are like micro rejections. I mean, it's hard enough if you're an adult and you're out there in that world, but now they're selling these apps to our kids. And that really frustrates me because I see the trauma, the anxiety, the depression that comes from it.
And the aspect of cyberbullying, I think that might come into play there too, because you're right, it is such a toll on kids' self-esteem and did anyone swipe right on me? And I just feel like this is really scary territory for kids well before they're emotionally ready for it.
It's not good for adults that we're losing that personal touch, meeting people in the old-fashioned way, and the kids are starting at a young age. It's just creating bad habits. That I'm not saying that all online dating is bad. I'm just saying that with it comes certain.
Are these apps
but you're also kind of getting them into that path of less and less interpersonal reaction from such a young age, well before they're emotionally equipped from it.
I have two questions. Number one, the developers of these apps, is there any responsibility or legal responsibility on their part, restrictions in terms of who they can market these to? And then number two, are these apps obvious to a parent? Because if your first tip was disable the airdrop feature on your kid's phone so your kids can't airdrop pictures, would a parent be able to look at the kid's phone and say, oh wait, this is very clearly a Tinder-like app for my kids. We can't have this on here.
Absolutely not. They name them things that are difficult to find out what they are. And then there's this whole concept of rebranding. So as a parent, we find out like this is a bad app and there might be a public media like outcry on it and they'll say, we'll pull that off and they'll actually use the same technology behind it but rename it and rebrand it so it can go back out into the market.
So how do you keep ahead of it?
I mean, it's a parent's job to monitor it, and if you're seeing something that you don't get that's so foreign, like what is this, then you need to investigate it.
Right, and that goes back to, as a parent, like we have to look at what are our kids downloading off the App Store. Lock that down. Our kids don't have the brain development at those ages that they're getting their first cell phone. In the United States, first technology device for a kid is now 6. On average, which is...
In the App Store, I want to ask you, because if I download an app and it costs money, I have to put in a password. Parents, should they just not let the kids know what the password is so that if anything needs to be downloaded, the parent has to give the okay? Any downloaded app, the parent has to put in their password? Is that a fair possibility?
I think it's a great possibility. Okay. And that works up until about high school. And then in high school, those kids come after you with a vengeance of like, no, I've got to download this app because the school's requiring me to. I have to download this app. And so it works until that age. And honestly, like if you have the same iCloud account, if you do that with your kids,
that's what I do.
Then once they get old enough, they actually are savvy enough where they can start watching what your text messages are with other people, and they can go in because it's the same iCloud
That's
account.
true. No, they can see, because my kids don't have their own devices, but they have access to the iPods and iPads and things sitting around. And it's really interesting because the way I've set it up is that any app that you download, whether it's me, my husband, or my kids want something, you have to put in that approval and that password. Otherwise, it just doesn't happen. Yeah. I mean, I feel like as a parent, whenever you come on, it's so informative and amazing, but it also scares the bejesus out of me.
Scary.
Because I feel like there's
my
so
kids are all grown up, but I guess I'll be prepared for when the grandkids come, because it's probably going to be just that much worse.